Footsteps walking with me, footsteps I cannot see, but every move I make and every step I take, I know they're there with me. They walk with me all the way, beside me day by day, through good and bad, through happy and sad, those footsteps won't go away.
This cute little kid was about a year old, I understand, and it was picture time. It must have been before she had the whooping cough, because I was told that she had the whooping cough at about a year old, and she would not be here yet today if it had not been for my mother's mother sticking her hand in a bucket of cold water and putting it over her face, and she caught her breath. Otherwise, the doctor said she probably would have kept on going. But since it wasn't her time to quit, she's been around for about 97 plus more years to give the world fits. And she grew up, and she was just out of her teenage years, I think, when this picture was taken, and we was down to our grandmother Clymer's place with our relation. And there's Sherry's mother standing beside her, between our two cousins Scotts. And there's my brother standing there to Maxine's left. And there was my favorite cousin over here looking around Laverne's shoulder, Leland. He was my favorite on that side of the family. And the one on the end was Francis Scott. And the one to Maxine's left, Zerma. She married Harold Lincoln. And Francis married, the one on the end, she married Donald Wilson. And Laverne, the tall one, she was just younger, in September, younger than the one in the first picture. She turned out to be a beautician. And now that one, I'm guessing that Pauline was probably 11 or 12. Probably about 10 or 11, because I think that's before our nephew George arrived. And that one on the pony is my Aunt Eliza's granddaughter, which was about 8 months younger than Pauline. And she was as blonde and light-skinned as I was, dark hair with dark skin. And her grandmother called us Mutt and Jeff, because she was small-boned and kind of dainty-like, and I was the opposite. And this building that we were standing in front of, my dad was working on it way back years ago before I went to school. And for some reason, there was some hard candy crumbs in a cigar box. And I remember carrying that around with me so I could have those crumbs of that hard candy while Dad was out working on that garage. And it had warmed up enough that I was running back and forth without a coat on. And Dad was finishing up something. My dad was not an overly accomplished carpenter, but he was finishing it up. I'm assuming Uncle Frank started it. And Uncle Frank was Mom's uncle. Uncle Frank was my mom's brother. And he lived in White City and raised goats. And there I am when I thought I was hot stuff.
About what age?
I think 18. 16 or 18. I think 18 because this had been Maxine's suit. It was a skirt and a jacket. And back along about that time, Maxine got tularemia, which they called a rabbit disease. And she just got all yellow and so skinny. We thought we was going to lose her. And finally, the doctor said, I think it's tularemia, and they do get over that. But Mom was watching pretty close what she ate. I wasn't such a big eater then, I don't think, but Mom tried to watch to see that she ate as much as I did, because I was going apparently as strong as I knew how to go, maybe. But Maxine kept getting thinner and thinner and droopier and droopier. And then all of a sudden she kind of picked up and started in again. And then when she got heavy again, she hated that because she knew she had been skinny, but she didn't like being sick. But she didn't know she was sick. But eventually she got much better. Okay. And that's when I was wearing the dress that I wore when Mary Lou was on the horse. So I was still about 10, 11, maybe, I don't know. But now I can all see a resemblance of some of my great niece. And I'm sure she's going to hate that in time. But it's the truth, Stella. And that's when I was in the first grade. At Centerview School, I'm in the second row. There by Uncle Earl, I'm all squeezed up between Uncle Earl and Lois Garrett. Now in the back row are Garrett girls, and the one with the boy with the cap on was Gerald Schuster, and he had a guitar, and he would bring it to school ever so often, and he made me want a guitar so bad I could taste it. But he couldn't play and he couldn't sing, but he had a guitar. But I wanted one anyway. And the one on the far right turned out to be Pearl Garrett. And the one next to her, between Pearl and Gerald Schuster, was Maxine. And that must have been the year after, or two, maybe after Velma graduated. Because I know this is Mildred Garrett, that's Pauline, and that might have been Lois. Because down here's probably Margie Camel. And this one here was Faith. And this was probably another Garrett. Now, this picture was taken before I started school because the teacher was Selma Burkett, Borket. And I think she was about as worthless as you could get as a teacher, but she went a whole year. And next to her was Velma, my sister. And the one in the back row was Ernie Braun, Braun. And then on over was Earl Hermstein, Gerald Schuster. The one with the hat on is Maxine in front of Ernie. And this was Uncle Earl. And that's Hollis Heidecker. Now, who this was, I think, was one of this one and this one, I think, were brother and sister, and they were our neighbor. Viola and Claude, the proud parents. My dad's mother used to claim she was a Southern belle. Well, I can almost believe that because she liked to be waited on.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And she expected me at 14 years old to be able to wait on her, wash, clean house, cook, wash dishes.
All the things.
All of that stuff.
Yeah.
And when I got homesick and wanted to go back to my family, my dad told his sister, have her daughter go in and do what I'd been doing, which was a few months younger than I was. Oh, no, Laverne couldn't do that. She'd never done that.
Yeah.
But I was one that was always with my mom when I wasn't out with my brother, working for doing whatever, playing. I was always with my mom. Mechanic and carpenter, whatever. Mom had screwdrivers. I wanted one. And that probably helped me out a lot by doing that.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
Because that helped me go on for how many years in Emporia.
Yeah. Yep. I would agree.
And got her in trouble, too, when she got caught by the neighbor up on the roof. Yes.
Yep. And that was like, what?
Yeah.
When she was 70 or something,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
How old were you then when you got caught on the roof?
I mean, I remember that.
70s, 80s?
80s, because I can remember that, I thought.
Well,
Yeah, probably in their 80s, because
but just
it could have been
before
this.
my 80s probably, because your grandpa was a part of it. He was down on
Roy?
the floor, down on the ground watching the ladder while I climbed the ladder. Went up on the roof in the garage, or on the garage down there in Emporia. To trim off them tree limbs is rubbing the roofing. And the one time that I was up on the roof there in Council Grove, next door to where Grandpa and Grandma lived, Grandpa was, I think, on the south side of the building, and I was on the north side of the building. We had tube before us with wires over the roof. Grandma was down here on the ground handing up the shingles, a shingle at a time. And all of a sudden the wire breaks on my side. I'm a yelling and a screaming and a reaching and a grabbing and trying to crawl to get up to the ridge roll. And Grandpa says, wait, hang on, Annie, I'm coming. I don't know. I don't really know what he did till I got swarmed around till I could get back down off the roof to get to the ladder that my grandma was. But that was probably back when I was 65, 70.
Yeah, that was
Old enough to have known better.
probably.
But they was up there too, so.
So that makes it okay.
Yes.
There's 3 of you.
Yeah. Quite the team.
Yeah, they got
Yes.
in a lot of trouble
You 3
too.
were quite the team. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Uncle Arthur and I helped your grandpa build a 3-car garage out there, shingled it. And Grandpa says, I've got that string across there, so you follow that. Well, I did for a while. Finally, I said, Roy, this don't look straight. Well, it's supposed to be. Well, it sure don't look it. Well, I'll be there in a little bit. Go ahead. Okay, so there was a row or 2 of shingles that was up this way a ways. He said, well, that's supposed to have been straight. Okay. He said, well, keep sliding down as you shingle. Okay.
Everything just.
So we always laughed every time I'd go up there. I'd try to irritate Grandpa a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, them shingles don't look so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Because him and I is both pretty good at irritating one another.
Yeah.
I had acquired $2,000 when her folks wanted to buy this house. They could scrape up $4,000, but they couldn't scrape up $6,000.
Mm.
And I said, well, I wasn't using my $2,000. I just let them have it. Well, what in her? And so they said they went ahead and bought it. And this one old guy kept telling Maxine and Roy, you need to buy that house. So your mom was riding along, and Teddy was known for his going down the road just not get shy.
Mhm.
Okay, Dad left, had sheared his mane, but he left a handful of long mane hair, so us kids could hang on to it. And so when Teddy did that to her mom, Maxine had a hold of that mane and she just pulled it out. And Dad's, how'd you do that? Well, I hung on till I pulled it out. So it was a long time when that sheared mane grew out enough to get a handle again.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Captain was messing with this little Shetland. And Milt says, come on, Kev. I'll show you how to ride him when he wants to act up. So there's Milt with his long legs almost to the ground, riding this little Shetland. And so for our benefit, that Shetland stopped right out there in front of us, in the front yard, and stopped and started shaking, backing up, and that little rat shook plumb out of that saddle.
With Milt in it.
Yeah. And standing there looking at him, wondering what in the world went on.
Yeah, he was. I don't know. He did his girth there where you cinch up the saddle. He was just.
You can't make it enough for the surely hurt him.
Yeah, and he'd still. You pretty soon you go back out there and he's gone.
Yeah. And then we had that roan gelding that we got from Ralph Shaw, and he could untie a square knot, a round knot, double knot. We'd tie him out there by the chicken house, and Arthur had asked me, what'd you do with Smokey?
Mm.
I didn't do nothing with him. Well, he's not out there. Well, I don't know. I didn't do nothing. He'd
Yep.
haul out of that powder or whatever. Oil and feathers in that hot water, and it just is so much easier. And you can clean that duck down off of them ducks. Well, I didn't think I wanted to skin a duck because they look so bad.
Yeah.
Because a friend of ours had showed me that's the way she dressed her chickens, was to skin them. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So I decided I was going to dress them. Okay, well then I cooked one, and Arthur said, "Hey, you know, that's pretty good." And
Wait, go back. So did you kill it?
sure,
So how'd you do it?
Hatchet?
he did.
He did.
Arthur
Stick on the ground and pull its head off.
on a. That's the way I did my chickens.
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, them ducks flap too much. I can't handle them. So before you go to the field, you get out here and
Yeah.
on a block with an axe. Okay, well, that meant I need to hurry up and get them feathers off.
So you put the duck in the boiling water and then
No, not boiling water.
or no?
You don't want boiling water.
Oh really?
You want your water to boil. Then you take some cold water, a little bit, and pour in there. Otherwise, that boiling water will set those feathers. Chicken, duck, whatever. So, you learn to be quite a technique before I got through dressing those 12 ducks.
Yeah.
But we had them for Thanksgiving, Christmas.
All 12?
Well, with passing them on to the family. I think to start with, I cooked a duck and a chicken because I wasn't too sure I wanted to eat a duck after all that. Yes.
So definitely harder to defeather than a chicken because their feathers are waterproof.
Yeah, they have the
More
oil.
so, but after I put the soap and Mom had always put in soda in the water. But when I tried that first duck picking, that didn't work very good until I talked to Lola. And she said, "Oh, don't even try it without this soap.
So it cuts the oil that's in
Cotton
the.
cuts the oil part of the feathers down.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can get way down to down on the skin.
Yeah, to the skin. Yeah. Yeah.
And
So then you fry them, or you
I
bake them?
baked them. I put them in, baked with them, with a chicken most of the time. Most of the time, I think, because I don't think I wanted to even have any in the oven until somebody else is going to be around. Kids, time to get up. We gotta go melt. Well, when we come in, that oatmeal was pretty thick. I got to a great big hating oatmeal. I just couldn't hardly stand it. Maybe I wasn't milking until bigger grade in school. But Dad would take that lantern and hang it up on that peg. We must not have saw very much while we was milking. I know at one time we had 8. I think there was stalls for 10 cows. And at one time we had 8. And one of us, and then one of them was me, and then somebody else, the cow kicked and spilt our 2/3 of a milk bucket, which was 3 gallons. 2/3 of it, she kicked it way across the from one side of the stanchions over to the other.
Uh-oh.
So we lost that much milk.
Uh-oh.
And that one didn't make Dad very happy, but
I mean, yeah.
we didn't know she was going to kick.
Yeah.
You didn't put kickers on them?
We did there at the last, yeah. And then we had one that would stand just as still as could be. And of course, all of us kids wanted to milk that one, and we didn't want them kickers.
Oh.
And then days that it was snowing, that we didn't get all the snow off of our backs, and that pretty dark water would come dripping.
And you would not believe, probably, well, I wouldn't believe you either, probably, if you told me, the hours that we worked together in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Shocking wheat, shocking corn, pitching hay. You never got into the garden, that's for sure. They told me I had a good sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you guys each get a little bit of it if I've had a good sense of humor.